Hey, 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 yeah, hey, what up? I am back. Yeah, you know I want to put some nice music on. This goes out to all my hoes and bitches that's on the stroll right now for Memorial Day weekend. Getting that money for my nigga right now. I want to send a message out to you bitches. I'm going to sing something for you. Here we go. Baby, you make that money, bitch. Make it right now. Without a doubt. Because I'm gon' slap the shit out of you. If you don't have my money, bitch. Because I don't give a shit about your bills. Because I gotta pay my own bills, bitch. And I don't give a fuck. Cause I'm tryna get rich, bitch. No, I'm just fucking with y'all. Let me turn this clown ass shit down, man. What is going on? I am back and I am black. What is going on, people? I just thought I'd give y'all a little freestyle. Hey, man, I'm sorry I couldn't do the podcast on Thursday. Man, at that corporate plantation, by the time I got off that motherfucker, I was like, God damn, boy, you know they'll work you to death. Anyways, hey, this is the No I Don't Know podcast. Shout out to Noob. That song, she told me to sing that song. She had wrote those lyrics for me, and she just told me to sing it for y'all. You know, she probably just got out of church, but after she got out of church, y'all, I just wanted to let y'all know, she usually goes downtown and makes sure her hoes got her money and everything situated. So she praises the Lord from about 10:30 to about 1:30. Then she goes downtown from about 2:30 to about 7 to make sure them hoes got that money. So I thought I'd just let y'all know that. But anyway, man, what is going on? Man. Got a lot to discuss. Man, I ain't gonna be on too long. I always say that shit and end up being on too goddamn long. But anyway, man, thank everybody that's been listening and subscribing. Like I said, this podcast is not for the average listener. If you the average commenter, then you about to get exit stage left, clowns. Man, been tired. The weather been up and down. Been working these clown ass corporate plantation jobs or whatever. Man, it's very, very important. I was going through some books and I was reading Think Like a Millionaire by Dr. Boyce Watkins. Very good book to read. It gives you a different perspective on how to get your money game tight and all this other shit. I got some other books like Stock Tip for Dummies, Mutual Fund for Dummies, things like that. We'll get into that, but the corporate plantation, you know, it's a motherfucker. So that's why I wasn't here on Thursday. But, you know, I try to, you know, get it in as much as I can. But let me turn some of this clown ass shit down. You know, I got the little R&B feel today. That's why I wanted to give y'all that little R&B song that Nuke had wrote for me. But anyway, let's get into it, people. Man, before we get started with anything else, did Jesus come back today? I know y'all niggas was, he's a wonderful God. He's a merciful God. I know that's what y'all niggas is doing right now. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what y'all want to do. I do believe in the power of prayer because what they say, prayer changes things. But I'll say this. I'll start by saying this. Organized religion has its ups and its downs. Organized religion, depending on what religion you are aspiring to be a part of or what you are currently studying to be in, you know, you got to defend that religion at all costs, and I understand that. But, you know, religion is meant to bind. Get an etymology dictionary. I've said it a million times. It gives you the origin of the words. So go ahead and get that dictionary. Not just that, you know, to each his own. So, you know, when you hear me talking about does Jesus come back, you know, I guess Christ is supposed to be 2,000 years old, but the later J is only 900. And you need to read Egyptian Beliefs in Modern Thoughts. That's a very good book to read. I didn't put that on the shelf. I still got some of the other books. I got my Black Labor, White Wealth again. I was taking notes. But yeah, man, ain't nothing wrong with going to church and getting your little Jesus in your life. You know, Jesus said, and you know, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do that. Hey, I don't discriminate, nothing like that. I'm just saying, I would like for these black religions, this is one thing, and I ain't cooning. Hey, y'all black religions in these mega churches, y'all need to mega church y'all ass like that Mormon religion. At least in that Mormon religion, I get a job at a bank. I'm destined to be employed somewhere. So I would like to see our black religions kind of take on some of that philosophy as the Scientologists and the Mormon religions. Now, I'm not telling you to go join the Mormon faith. I'm just saying, take on that same type of ideology of how they take, hey, you Mormon, hey, you gonna get a job. You gonna be employed for somebody in this motherfucker. But anyway, I digress from that. Man, I want to talk about a couple of things I've been watching. You know, I like to watch documentaries. I've been watching right now Lucifer. That show is crazy, but it's funny, but it's crazy. It's got a little bit of hidden jewels to me. I like how it's not the devil, but it's Lucifer, and the way they wrote it is kind of from a comedic perspective, but it's a good show. I like it. I'm watching season 1 right now. I don't like watching it on regular TV. Too many goddamn commercials. But I digress from that. So, you know, I've been kind of watching documentaries and things like that, but I forgot what I was watching. 2 Black Men a Week talks about how they put 2 black men, not 2 black men, but it's like how they incarcerate 2 black men per week. Then I'm watching this other show about First to Last. It's about the county jail and in Georgia. Crazy shit. It just tracks the different lives of different people and stuff like that. So, you know, I've just been watching a few things, been catching up. I like to watch documentaries, and that's why I like Netflix. Netflix is bullshit, though. They got to get up to date with some new documentaries, and Amazon, too. God damn, that shit is so goddamn outdated. But, you know, I'll go back and watch a couple of things. But I was reading on the news about our brother Meek Mill. And the reason why I want to talk about Meek Mill and talk about the title of Memorial Day Perception, because in our eyes, the melanated, commoner eyes, the deaf, dumb, and blind, the people that kind of don't look behind the scenes, look behind the curtain, or as Antonio Moore would say, the decadent veil. I like that. I would just say, look behind what you can see, your own reasoning. Meek Mill was turned away by the Cosmopolitan Hotel. And the Cosmopolitan Hotel basically said, we're banning all rappers. We're making it where no rappers could come here. I don't understand. Now, yes, that's racist. Because racism is the competition of resources to use and oppress those resources, to use those resources to oppress another racial group or ethnicity. That's what it is. Gotta get Neely Fuller Jr.'s book. I'll always promote this book. A counter-racist compensatory code of ethics, or a compensatory counter-racist code. One of them. I can't never remember the title, but it's a great book. I always keep that shit right there and go back and read certain things. Now, I'll give you both perspectives. Of course, that's racist. If those hotels can say, we don't want no niggas in here, period, unless you got money, then that's exactly what they gonna say. But of course they're not gonna say that shit, because there's a lot of loopholes, and they don't want a lot of celebrities to not go there, and they don't want a lot of people that do spend their money there not to come. So there's different loopholes. So then they hide it under the moniker of rappers. Now I guarantee you, the Cosmopolitan Hotel will not turn down Eminem. Y'all want to bet? They will not turn down Eminem. The system of white supremacy and white supremacy, period, in the context of how they go about enforcing those rules is very, there's a book called The Peculiar Institution. I got to get that book. Very, very good book. I saw it online. I heard Dr. Kaba Kamene talk about that book. That's saved on my card. I got a whole bunch of books saved on my card. Always questing for knowledge. But you have to understand this. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how much you on TV. I don't care if you are with what's the nigga that, I forgot the nigga's name, that owned the New England Patriots. The nigga that just got arrested. I forgot his name. Robert Kraft. That's his name. You know, I don't care if you are taking pictures with him. Hey, shout out to what's up? Hey, what's up, chat room? RG Easy. That's a fact. or Mac Miller when he was alive. The only person they probably wouldn't let in is Paul Wall, because Paul Wall got a black wife and he ain't playing the bullshit. But all the other white rappers, hell yeah, you might as well go ahead and you got to pass, nigga. Matter of fact, you're not them. We have to understand this too. There's a racism war going on and there's a classism war going on. Most Caucasians, the dominant society, have to deal with classism because they're slaves too and they don't want to admit it. But they deal with more of a classism issue than a racism issue. We deal with system of white supremacy, racism, white supremacy, and we deal with classism. I think we're fighting two wars because at the end of the perspective, you gonna have to, nigga, you still a nigga. They don't give a fuck how much money you got. You can have all the money in the world, but let's see how much power you have with that money and what you plan on doing with it. And poor old Meek Mill trying to be a prison advocate, a prison reform advocate, and get with Jay-Z and Robert Kraft and change the prison industrial complex and trains the system, try to change the system. And Cosmopolitan like, nigga, exit stage left. You get the fuck out of here, nigga or nigger. Your money's no good here. We don't want no rappers here, period. I understand this. They don't want us a part of their society. They pretend like they don't want us a part of their society. And then if we really, really segregated ourselves and say, okay, well, we're not fucking with the dominant society on shit no more, then they'll just drop a bomb on us like they did Tulsa, Oklahoma. The first terrorist act committed on American soil. Tulsa, Oklahoma, y'all did, and don't you forget it. I remember Lauryn Hill, happy birthday to her as well. And I remember Lauryn Hill made a comment, and I remember I was working with this Caucasian, man, this Caucasian dude at the Corporate Plantation. This was a long time ago. And he had made a comment about, yeah, Lauryn Hill was stupid for saying she doesn't care if white people buys her albums and all this other stuff. And that was dumb and all this other stuff. You know, and he was just going on and on. I was just watching. And you see, I like to listen. I hadn't even read any books, but I was still just listening. And then I'll never forget, I was just seeing how angry he was. It was almost like he wanted to say, how dare that black bitch say she don't want white people buying her music? We're the reason why she's popular. We're the reason why this. We're the reason why that. Because that's their perception and that's how they feel about us. But our job is not to convince Caucasians that racism, white supremacy exists. That's not our goal and that's not our job. Our job is to educate other melanated people that racism, white supremacy exists. Because there's a lot of Sambos and Coons and Hayward Shepherds that exist within our community and they act like it's not real. Like I said, I don't care who you date, I don't care who you fuck with. The person that you fuck with, if they're a part of the dominant society or they're a part of, or they're Chinamen, or it doesn't matter who they are. If they don't understand racism, white supremacy, they don't need to be fucking with you and you don't need to be fucking with them. And you like, well, Warren, how could they understand? You know how they can understand? They can get some books and read them and they can quest for knowledge and they could not be bipartisan and try to look at it from the dominant society's perspective, because that's what we do. See, the Meek Mill situation is like, oh, well, we can't let rappers in, but we have to understand this. They don't want no niggas in there. That's why when you go on a casino, especially now with all this money on the line, they don't want no niggas on the strip. They don't want no niggas on the strip. They don't want no niggas in those casinos, period. And it's gonna be like that in downtown Las Vegas as well. See, I live in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is corporate. I was listening to an interview. Shout out to BG Knockout. I was listening to this interview he did on Vlad TV, how he was talking about how the mob is still present, but it's now corporate. It is corporate. But let's not glorify the mob, because the mob is the people who killed Sam Cooke, who orchestrated the assassination of Sam Cooke. You know, in the mob, they think that they're somehow, some way better than regular gangbangers. But y'all the same. Y'all kill people, y'all extort people, y'all do the same fuckery bullshit. And the mob was clicked in and was in alignment with J. Edgar Hoover. Let's not forget that. That's why J. Edgar Hoover never full court pressed the mob. But he was always going after them niggas. We have no allies, ladies and gentlemen. And people like Meek Mill, we got to understand that. Wait, hold on. Let me read the chat. TML. Man, your YouTube is tripping. I barely got a notification for the podcast. I just happened to check myself. That's why I'm late. I know, look, Look, let me just remind everybody. I'm speaking some real shit. That's why they gonna fuck with the algorithm. They're not gonna notify you. You can hit the bell and the subscribe button. You'll never know when I put the podcast on. MC Hammer Daddy said the same shit. Shawnee Brown says the same shit. Screwhead says the same. All the people that be in the chat room said the same shit. They don't never be notified. I know why. Because I know my shit is raw and uncut. That's why. That's why, in a way, you gonna have to just come search for it. That's why I don't be trying to send it to a whole lot of people. I don't be trying to like get a whole lot of people on, because I know once there's too many people, I already know what's gonna happen. Then they gonna start banning me and start fucking with the shit. I already know. Because I know I'll be saying some real shit. And it's funny because Meek Mill was called him out like, y'all racist. And I'm glad he did. Because racism is the competition between racial groups to attain resources, to use those resources to manipulate and control another race. That's what racism is. It's the competition of resources. And don't let nobody tell you different. So when they tell black people, oh, you're racist, say, how could I be racist? I own no boats, no cakes, no pies, no businesses, no corporations. I don't know banks, nothing. And this is the funny thing that I think is even more funny, is that on Twitter, I was going back and forth with this white motherfucker, and when I was like, racist, black people can't be racist. Oh, let me guess, black people can't be racist because you don't own anything? See, that's why we got to get out of the habit of trying to convince the average commoner that's a part of the dominant society of what racism is. Don't let them play dumb. Like I told y'all before in the cover presentation, somebody tried to mention how, oh, it was so unfair how we treated the Chinamen and we made them build the railroads. But the motherfucker never said nothing about slavery, like it didn't even exist. And then there was a Latino sister that knew how uncomfortable it was, and she just walked away. I'll never forget that. But I just laugh at it, because you know what you're saying, and you know what you're doing. But you know what I really do laugh at? The people that are part of the dominant society, the Caucasians that are fuck-ups. And they think somehow the people that are elite, a part of those corporate plantations, somehow care about them. I'll be laughing. They put you in charge of police state shit while the motherfuckers at the top is making all the goddamn money, which is fine with me. Because being melanated in white America, we're not supposed to be where we at anyway. You're not supposed to even have employment, or you're not even supposed to make it that far. Because they got so many roadblocks that have been designed to kill, seek, destroy melanated. Let me read this. Hell yeah, Instagram deleted my post about the system of white supremacy. Yeah, it's all about the code. Hell yeah. Y'all gotta understand. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was banned from Facebook because he has wielded too much power. If you go track Ben X, he was on YouTube, he was on Facebook. They got him off all that shit. Because brother Ben X from the Nation of Islam, he had over 500,000 subscribers. Now you can control the fickle crowd. You can control the commoner, the average commoner. They don't want you controlling the average commoner. They want the average commoner to walk in an assembly line. And if they say turn left, left, right, left, which brings me to my other point about Memorial Day and how they create this imagery and perception. They want you to have this perception about the soldiers and all this and all. Let me tell you something. The United States of America has been known for seeking out countries, destroying their infrastructure with economic hitmen, jackals, and taking over the countries and wielding the power that they have to control those countries to the benefit of the United States of America. And I don't care what nobody say. That's a fact. 9/11, all that shit. You better go watch Vice. Talks about Dick Cheney and all the and I forgot what he was looking for. The executive theory or some shit. Talking about how exactly the vice president has full power to do whatever the fuck he wants. Man, we better wake up and know that these people don't want us a part of their society. They don't. But we are needed because we built the country. So they kind of need us around for basketball, entertainment. But look, they have infiltrated the entertainment. I often look at Whitney Houston, gone, what her catalog is worth. Excuse me, Prince, gone, what his catalog is worth. Michael Jackson, gone. And on record, Michael Jackson was the only one that called out the racism and white supremacy. He called out Tommy Mottola's racist ass to his face at Times Square. Tommy Mottola is a racist? Go look it up. They probably got rid of every footage of Michael Jackson saying that on YouTube. Because it wasn't on YouTube then. There was no YouTube. This was in 2001, 2002 when he wanted to make R&B. When he made that song called You Rock My World, and he made Butterflies, and he made a lot of R&B hits, and they did not like that. They didn't even like that Michael Jackson had a 50% ownership deal with Sony Publishing. That's why he owned everybody's shit. That's why he was laughing. Oh, you want your publishing back? Don't worry about it, clowns. I got it. You can have it. They're running a scam. And that's why they didn't like Michael Jackson. See, they don't... See, look, it's like that everywhere. Once you have knowledge, it is power. And often we got to understand what it is, and we have to stop going out of our way to try to educate the dominant society of what they've done. It's their rules. They've done it. So why are we trying to educate them on what they've done to us? They know what they've done, and for all you Caucasians and all you people, Latinos, Caucasians, Chinamen that are part of the dominant society, stop talking this, oh, well, that wasn't me. My family came here, you know, and they just wanted a better life for me and my family. Well, your family are freeloaders because they did not build this country. Facts. They were not here doing this Atlantic slave trade. They weren't here doing that. They are not the original people here. They're not the aboriginals that are here. Lucy, the bone that was found in San Diego, that's like 30,000 years old, a black woman. So I'm tired of hearing all these stories from Latinos and Chinamen and Korean men and Italians and everybody else about how they came here to make a better way for their country. You're freeloaders. I can't go to Italy and live off their system and create this whole infrastructure for my family and then talk down to other Italians. They will not let me do that. I can't go to Mexico and live off fucking the Mexico land and live off the Mexicans there and then build an infrastructure and then talk down to Mexicans. That would not happen. I can't go to China and live off Chinese government and then build wealth for my family and then talk down to Chinamen about how they need to pull themselves up out of bootstraps because I came here with nothing. No, all you motherfuckers is coming here. That's the problem that I have. That's the greatest issue that I have. I'm not speaking to all Latinos and all Chinamen and all Cubans and Colombians. I'm not speaking. I'm talking about to the ones that strategically align themselves with the dominant society, talk down about black people as if we all thugs and gang members and dumb, deaf and blind, and we corrupt the system, and that's why it's all fucked up. When you are freeloaders in this country, if you're not aboriginals to this country, if you're not native, and I'm not just talking about the goddamn Indians. Indians were Moors, clown. You better do your research. That's why they put out that the Native Americans were here first. But the black people were already here, and that's a fact. And that's a real motherfucking fact. So everybody else are freeloaders. So when you come here and get your business, let me let you know you had help. That's why I watch Dirty Dining every week and watch how it's always every other race but black people that's on there that continuously are repeat offenders on Dirty Dining and have these restaurants, and then you act like you can't speak English and all this other shit. But you know how to call a motherfucker a nigga, a mayate, and all this other shit and talk shit about niggas all day long. You know how to be in alignment with the system of white supremacy and shit on black people. And see, I'm talking to y'all, and I know y'all out there. That's a fact. Because confident Latinos, confident Caucasians, they don't act like that. I've been around them. I've been very cool with confident Caucasians. They're not gonna tell you about how much money they have because they don't give a fuck. And they're not gonna tell you how many black friends they have to try to make you feel comfortable. They're gonna bring the real questions to the floor, like what, like. Why is it that white people are so dumb? When you ask confident Caucasians, you know what confident Caucasians usually say? White people have white privilege and they lie and they cheat and they have help within this system and they're dumb as fuck and they are scared of black people. That's what I've been told by Caucasians that are confident. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm just telling you what I've been told. But these are all confident Caucasians that don't have to be yo and tell you that they listen to Eminem or listen to Dr. Dre or some shit to make you feel at ease. And they're not the confident Caucasians. These are confident Caucasians, not Caucasians. Oh, I've been around a lot. I would say the majority of the Caucasians that are non-confident, they don't hang around me long because I make them feel uncomfortable. You know why I make them feel uncomfortable? Because I don't laugh and joke at all their racial epithets and the coon jokes and the nigga jokes and you know, I'm a Democrat, and they think that once they speak that Democrat Republican shit and they start talking shit about the Republicans, they think that you gonna all of a sudden be like, because nigga, fuck the Democrats and the Republicans. They're both racist. And that's a fact. See, we gotta think beyond what we can see, and we gotta think outside the box. And we gotta stop acting like clown ass motherfuckers like Angela Rye's coon ass, who go on TV and promote this Democratic bullshit as she talks shit about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but then defended Joe Biden, who was the architect behind mass incarceration. He signed that goddamn bill. That was his bill. And he made a speech about it and asked for 3 minutes more. Go look it up. Go look up Joe Biden speaks about mass incarceration. Joe Biden speaks about the crime bill. Go look it up. These are all facts. You don't believe me? Go get the books and read them. It's time for us to start calling out these coons and these Sambos and these Hayward Shepherds. Look, let me tell you something. Now, this is a message to all my coons and my Sambos. I don't give a fuck if you are a lawyer. I don't give a fuck if you're a police officer. I don't care if you're a part of their system. Unless you're Dr. Joy DeGruy, Michelle Alexander, people that are part of that system, get inside that system, see what the fuck they got going on, and then write about it. That's what you do. Make a documentary about it. Don't just be about the system and then escort more people into the system. That bitch, Ellen Gerard, man, fuck that bourgeoisie boule bitch. I can't stand motherfuckers like that. That use those white talking points and, oh, he speaks hate and all this other stuff, when Joe Biden straight out called us thugs and we need to be taken off the streets and put in prison because we got to keep my nieces and nephews and wife and daughters safe, like we're the last 500 years. And that's a fact. And we got to know what it is and stop going out our way to explain to people, and even black people. When you get around melanated people and they get to talking that coon shit, just be like, yeah, man, I'm good. And if they like, oh, well, what you mean good? And then you just hit them with facts. That's why it's very important for us to have our facts. Have our facts. If a motherfucker start talking about the government, how the government is good, point them to this book, The Burglary. Point him to this book. Yeah, it's the book of Eli. It's a thick-ass motherfucking book. It damn for sure is. But it's going to tell you about confident Caucasians, and it's going to tell you about non-confident Caucasians. And by the way, the non-confident Caucasian is J. Edgar Hoover, by the way. The cross-dressing J. Edgar Hoover. The Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner motherfucker. That's who he was. That didn't like niggas. See, we got to know our surroundings. We got to know who we are first. We got to believe in us. We got to stop the racial showcase and confusion. Okay, so they do give a nigga position of power and he making a whole lot of money. If that's not your cup of tea, just stay the fuck away from him. You ain't gotta be all up under him and be mad. Please, my black brothers and sisters, stop. And I repeat, stop hanging out with other brothers and sisters that you don't like and you hate. Stop doing that. But when it comes time to do business with your brother that you hate. You know why? Because Caucasians do it. We got to start practicing group economics. We got to start thinking about Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. I talk about this book all the fucking time. I was going through it today, just looking at some notes. Always, we got to look at Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. These are things that we got to look at. Because I see it all the time. And you will meet confident people from the dominant society. But let me tell you something. The confident people that are Caucasians, they gonna know racism is some bullshit. They gonna know that white fragility is real, and they gonna know that white privilege is real. And they gonna know that a lot of people use white privilege and act like they don't. And they're going to call out other Caucasians. And you're going to notice those confident Caucasians, they're going to have a multicultural of friends. They're not going to be speaking from this, oh, they're racist and all their friends is Caucasian. No, they're going to have black friends, Latino friends, Chinese friends, white friends. And the majority of their friends are probably going to be, they're going to be free thinkers that are like, nah, man, I ain't with that shit. And they're going to be the type of Caucasian that if they get around white people and they get to talking that nigga shit and that ghetto black people shit, they going to be like, man, I'm not with that. And they're not going to be afraid to fight the system and not have any friends within the system. Those are confident Caucasians, but they're few and far between. The majority of them do not want to give up their white privilege, and the majority of them, they possess white fragility and they use it at all costs. And there's a book called White Fragility. Go get it. Go get that book, White Fragility. And it tells you exactly how they deflect and use all these tactics. We have to understand what it is. Meek Mill is finally going to see, oh, not only did we lock you up, nigga, and not only we already categorized you as a dumb rapper, nigga, yo, dumb rapper black ass cannot come in here, nigga. That's what they're thinking. And they probably didn't think that they was going to be put on blast. But what we need to do is this. We need to all go buy MGM stock and we need to short it. I don't have their stock. I got Caesar's stock. We need to go buy MGM stock and short them. And I think MGM is what? Boyd Gaming or MGM? Somebody owns MGM. I forgot. Buy their stock and short it. But I get it. We'd rather spend our time in the sports book, taking the over and under, and I'm taking the two in the fourth quarter and all this bullshit, shit that don't even make sense. Well, y'all keep doing that, and then next year when tax time comes, and you get $50 back when you used to getting a G-bar, 800, 900 back. Don't say I didn't tell you. You better donate to your traditional IRA. You better donate to that so you can claim on your taxes, because I'm about to start doing that shit. I'm gonna get more than the clown ass shit I got back. That's a fact. Gotta wake up, man. We gotta understand this. Even like, it was so funny when that white boy told me, yeah, Lauryn Hill, that was dumb what she said. And I was just listening to him like, but you're never bringing up what white people say about black people all the goddamn time. You're never bringing that to me. But you sure did want to bring that. And those are the type of people who are part of the dominant society. Get the fuck away from. See, I've dealt with that on the corporate plantation. Motherfuckers always ask me stupid questions like, why do black people do this? Or why do black people do that? Like I'm some type of goddamn liaison between the black community and the dominant society. Man, get the fuck out of here. And then I gotta watch my tone and my delivery because I don't, at the time, I don't have the confidence. I haven't read no books, but that's okay. Because I'll tell you this, I started listening to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I just started listening. Like man, let me go listen to his old speeches. And I started listening from 86, 87 when he got this speech added up, when he got on all white, and I think he in Florida. Then I listened to a speech where he was in LA, and I listened to like a bunch of speeches in the early 90s, just dope ass speeches about how strong we are. And then I started listening to the newer speeches. This was like 10 years ago, and I was like, damn, man, we are strong people. And man, they have done this to us, and they have done this, and they've done that. And after that, I started to gain a lot of confidence. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then that made me want to read. And I always never got around to reading because I used to be kicking it and chilling and drinking a lot. And then I would say finally like 2012, 2013, that's when I was like, all right, man, I gotta start reading. I gotta start questioning different. And then I think I bought my first book, The Secret Relationship Between Jews and Blacks, in like 2013 or 2014. That was my first book. And after that, I was hooked. I started buying all kinds of books and reading them. And I'm still on the quest for knowledge. We gotta know what it is, man. And look, they got audio book too. Everybody ain't gotta read books. I just like to read the books because I like to see the wording and the coding so I can look it up in my etymology dictionary. I'm just speaking from a perspective of, I already know Meek Mill got money. He got a little bit of fame. He's trying to have some prison reform in his life where he's trying to change the prison system. But nigga, you just came across motherfuckers that's like, oh, well, we've all decided, nigga, you're no good here. Your money's no good here. We don't give a fuck if you do got money, nigga. The fuck out of here. So we're gonna use classism and racism because you're not a part of our class. Maybe if you're a billionaire, if you were a billionaire, they probably would think twice because you'd have more power, more influence. But you're not. See, you're nigger rich. So your money's no good here. And all you're gonna bring is power, problems, and bullshit. Let me read from chat room. I just ordered that book. It comes tomorrow. Oh yeah, Black White. Wait till you read that book. Just wait till you read it. I ain't gonna tell you. Just go read it. Man, that book fucked me up. I read Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's book, the ISIS Papers. That book had my head hurt because she broke that shit down. And I noticed people took things from her book and put it in movie, like the part where Martin Lawrence in Boomerang is talking about the pool table and all that. That's in that book, the ISIS Papers. And then I think somebody used a quote from the ISIS Papers. I think it was what was his name? The John Singleton. And Baby Boy, he used a quote from Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's book in the very beginning of Baby Boy. Baby Boy has some very, very, very hidden jewels that were hidden. Like when Ving Rhames was talking about you like clothes and shoes and rims and shit. That's butter. That's all melts. It doesn't mean nothing. Stocks and bonds is where it is. Facts. Let me tell you something. Every company that you invest in is probably going to have some racist tendencies or some racist background. But this is about business. We got to know how to put that shit aside and do group economics and practice group economics and support our black brother and sister. Like Freedom Paper Company is a company that I fuck with, and I'm always promote them. I haven't promoted them a lot. Freedom Paper Company, I got some toilet tissue. I got some real black soap. I got some real toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride in it and all the shit that's in rat poison in it. All natural. Freedom Paper Company. I think they are a part of the Nation of Islam. Check them out. Freedom Paper Company. Very, very, very good business. That it's going to be an exception to the rule. That's why the title is Memorial Day Perception. See, they want everybody, oh, it's a holiday and it's all this other shit. Most motherfuckers got to go to work. You know why? You going to get that holiday pay. You know, so you can feed your family and get ahead in the game. So a lot of motherfuckers ain't even looking at the holiday the way we used to back in the 80s. I remember in the 80s, on Christmas, everything shut down. On Thanksgiving, everything fucking shuts down. And on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, everything shuts down. Nobody goes to work. Nobody does nothing. Only thing that's open is gas stations. Gas stations is barely open. And liquor stores. Restaurants is even shut down. You better cook at home. Now, shit. Corporate America like, no, we getting our hands on all this fucking money. Everything is open. Thanksgiving Day, day after Thanksgiving, watch, we gonna look up and they gonna be like, all right, we only giving y'all Thanksgiving off. The day after Thanksgiving, we're not giving it off to y'all. That's a fact. They might as well open the stock market on Black Friday. Even though Black Friday is when they sold slaves half price. Isn't that what Black Friday originally, what the reason of it is? Man, I'll be laughing at some of this shit. That's why it doesn't surprise me when I read that article about Meek Mill. It's probably gonna be on the news. It did not surprise me at all. At all. Just like the Magic Johnson shit. I'm gonna touch on that real quick. I noticed how all the black people basically defending that white boy. Oh, well, you were a part-time president and all this other stuff. Okay, look. This is why I can't stand these Sambo-ass mentalities that we have when we get on their TV networks. Magic Johnson just told the truth. That white boy was a shiesty motherfucker, like the majority of them are, and they smile with you, and then they be talking shit behind your back because they not bold enough to say it to your face. They laugh and smile with you and act like they your friend. That is corporate America as its finest. That's the corporate plantation at its finest. They just didn't like the fact that Magic Johnson did not adhere to their rules. Matter of fact, speaking of Michael Jackson, that's funny, I said his name by accident. Michael Jackson, the reason why they orchestrated the assassination of Michael Jackson, because he bought the Beatles catalog. And you know those white boys didn't like that. Paul McCartney and all them, they hated that shit. Paul McCartney and them was around there fucking bitches and doing cocaine and all this other shit, while Michael Jackson was like, well, nigga, y'all don't even own your own shit. The money is in the publishing. Well, I'm gonna buy y'all catalog since y'all bullshitting, y'all ain't got the money. And them motherfuckers laughed at him like, yeah, right, and them motherfucker bought it. And they've hated him ever since. See, they love black people as long as you're not as smart as them. Then they like, oh, we got a problem. That's why they always think they're supposed to be telling you what to do on every corporate plantation you work at. It doesn't matter. You could be their boss. They still telling you what to do. And then if you say something wrong, they going to human resources on you for putting them in their place when you in charge of them. Because the majority of melanated people on corporate plantation, they have to be docile. They have to be put their head down. Yes, boss, and smile and laugh and be a grinning nigga and laugh at the nigga jokes and appease everybody, be likable. Man, go to work, get your fucking money, and get the fuck out of there. Stop all the bullshit and the antics and the gossiping and the cooning and the samboing. God damn, I can't stand that shit and the telling on another nigga. If you can't wait to go to work so you can tell on somebody, then man, you get the fuck away from me. Because I ain't into that. Matter of fact, when you think about telling on another nigga on that perspective, look at yourself. Because you're going to be in that predicament too. And see, they like niggas fighting and arguing with each other on the corporate plantation. That's another excuse for them to get y'all the fuck up out of there and they can hire who looks like them. That's a fact. Now, everybody can't be entrepreneurs. I understand that. Everybody's not meant to have a business. It's a lot of free thinking that's involved. Would I like to be an entrepreneur? Hell yeah. Shit, that's why I started this motherfucking podcast. Shit, to be an entrepreneur. Free thinker. I didn't start this shit to have popularity. I started this shit to help me in my entrepreneurialism and to give a perspective on how it is to work on a corporate plantation and take that information and give it to the people that you know. Look, anybody can vet me out. I'm spitting real facts. Go work at the corporate plantation, see how they treat you. I don't give a fuck how hard you work, how much ass you kiss. You gonna always be a nigga, and you gonna always be their pet nigga and someone that they only want to move forward if they validated that you can move forward. That's a fact. If they didn't validate it, they don't want you there. That's a fact. And they want to be the controller of your narrative. So remember this, when you go on that corporate plantation and you give your heart and your soul and all your energy, remember this. Nobody's gonna give a fuck about you if you ill. Nobody's gonna give a fuck about you if you broke, you can't make ends meet. They don't give a fuck long as you are a slave for their cause. So you can take all that energy and that information and you can put it into you. That's why I tell people all the time, when you get at the corporate plantation, be silent. Be like Dick Cheney. Niggas always aspire to be like white people like Bill Gates and all these other motherfuckers. Be like Dick Cheney. Be the quietest motherfucker in the room. Don't say shit. Keep your comments to yourself. Don't say much to people. Keep your earphones on if you can. Don't say shit. Become introverted at that motherfucker. And let everybody else do the talking. And let everybody else do the gossiping. Don't tell your personal business and go on about your way. That's the only way, to me, how you can navigate and be what they call successful. Because if you do too much smiling and joking, now you're going to create enemies. If you do too much ass kissing, now you're going to create enemies because other people want to kiss ass. And then I love how they like to dangle the nigga trinkets in front of 2 or 3 niggas. And then niggas will stab each other in the back to get the nigga trinkets. And then the other nigga be looking at, like, no, push the other nigga towards it. Like, nah, go ahead, man, that's all you. And then the other nigga should be pushing you, nah, man, that's all you. And then y'all both should have a conversation about, look, man, I got a family, I got a life at home, and it don't revolve around this job, man. I'm just here to make money. So I ain't trying to do all that. That's the type of people you want to be around. Because can't you tell? Your money means nothing. You still a nigga. Look at Meek Mill. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Man, if y'all don't think it's racist out here in Las Vegas, y'all are sadly mistaken. Racism, white supremacy is in full throttle out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, this is a tourist town, all right, for Caucasians in the dominant society and motherfuckers that got real wealth. If you don't got no real wealth, they don't give a fuck about you. And Meek Mill does not possess real wealth. See, Meek Mill is nigga rich. Real wealth is Robert Kraft, a billionaire. That's real wealth, where your kids can be okay. Meek Mill stopped making appearances and club performances and selling music. That generational wealth is gone in an instant. We got to know how to decide what's real wealth and what's rich. Rich is NFL players and basketball players and baseball players. Wealthy are the owners. Michael Jordan is wealthy. He's wealthy. Kemba Walker is rich. That's a fact. That's why while we around here bashing Magic Johnson for throwing that white boy under the bus, they throw us under the bus all the time, man. God damn. Every black person that's commentating should be like, yeah, man, if Magic Johnson had an agreement between him and Jeannie Buss, who's the boss, then why are we even talking about this? That motherfucker was a hater. He was a motherfucking hater. And we got to understand what it is. Look, let me tell you something. Stop thinking that the dominant society is your friend. You better read Black Labor, White Wealth. And you better read Neely Fuller Jr.'s book, and you better read The Fall of America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'll show this book too. Because in the beginning of this book, in the very beginning of this fucking book, he talks about how we always run into the politicians and the senators and the mayors and to help us. But these are the same people that's giving us the fucking dirty, rotten food that we eat and that's killing us. That when you eat it, 5 minutes later, you're on the toilet. I tell everybody, you want to eat fast food? Then in the fast food lane, they should just have a toilet where you eat it and sit on the toilet at the same time. Because as fast as you eat it is as fast as it's coming out your asshole. That's a fact. It's a food-like substance. These are the same people that gave you your food. Oh, see, Vegas is for sure racist. Yeah, it is. It's always been that way. I remember my mom used to say, "This is a good old boy town." The same thing that Lakeisha, the ex-police chief of the city of Henderson said. This is a good old boy system. And I remember my mama said that in the 80s. She said that to me. In the 80s, when I was a child, she said that. Warren, this is a good old boy town. I was like, what's that mean, mama? White boys rule. White boys with money rule. And everybody else run around in it. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't understand that as a kid. I understand now. Like I keep saying, go to Queensridge. Go to Queensridge, which is on Charleston and Rampart, or Charleston and Fort Apache, or, you know, go to Queensridge. That's behind the Suncoast. Go there. Go to Queensridge and see how many niggas you see living in there. I've been in there. I ain't seen yet one nigga in there. And all the Latinos that's in there, they're doing yard work. That's a fact. And if it's a nigga in there, he worked for Cox Cable or DirecTV or some shit, or RC Willie. He delivered some shit or he installed some shit, but he don't live there. And that's a fact. I often sometimes sit back and think, man, when are my people gonna stop wanting to be like the Angela Rye's and the Roland Martins of the world and want to be more like the Dr. Francis Cress Welsings and the Dr. Claude Andersons of the world, and the Michelle Alexanders of the world, the Dr. Joy DeGrues of the world? Like, when are we gonna want to be around that? Or the Harriet Washingtons of the world? You're like, who's Harriet Washington? She wrote the Medical Apartheid. I was talking about that book the other day. That's a very good book. Go read that book and see all the goddamn bullshit experiences and experiments they was running. That's the real hostile. Medical Apartheid. And she was warned not to write that book, and they didn't want to give her a lot of the factual research that was done on black people so she can implement and put it in her book. See, so many wonderful, terrible things have been done to our people that we often forget that because they put out there, well, slavery was so long ago. Go read Slavery by Another Name. Go read Slavery by Another Name. Talks about the antebellum period and talks about the early 1900s and talks about how they would, this is where I got the guilty nigga. One white person would see you and be like, hey, you owe me $50. And $50 now is like $5,000 then. $50 then was like $5,000 now, I mean. And correction, and they would make you go before a magistrate. And then the magistrate would be, basically, like the judge would be like, guilty nigga. Now you have to go work on his farm for 5 years. or you're being hanged, or you're going to prison. That's slavery by another name. Making niggas work in coal mines and shipping. You think the industrial prison complex was, you think it's bad with Michelle Alexander? Go read Slavery by Another Name, how they were taking slaves out of the prison system, the black men, and putting them to work in coal mines. That shit. And railroads. Oh, but I thought the Chinamen built the railroad. Oh, that's what they told you. But there's actual pictures and footage of black men building the railroads. Man, we gotta wake up, man. And stop thinking that these holidays is for niggas. Your month ain't even for you. In your month, they talk about Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream. They don't talk about the last speech when he wanted that money that was owed to us. They don't talk about that. They talk about Harriet Tubman freeing the slaves. That's all they talk about. And then now they just now start to want to talk about Malcolm X, but they like to talk about Malcolm X because he talks shit about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They don't like to talk about Malcolm X at the end when he wanted to rejoin the Nation of Islam. They don't talk about that. So before you start talking shit about the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, talk shit about yourself. Because that religion has liberated more black men than I've ever seen in my life. And that's a fact. And they know who they are. It ain't just about the religion. It's about educating yourself on who you are. And that's a fact. And you ain't got to be a part of the religion to love the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and respect the Minister Louis Farrakhan. I do. I got, man, look, let me tell you something. Listening to him is the reason why I kind of got in the books when he's talking shit about the Jewish bankers. Because I always wanted to know, like, why is the banking system like this? Why is it? Who is JP Morgan? Who is all these people? And I first heard him talking about it. And shit, I got that secret relationship between Jews and blacks. And I was like, oh, shit. Then he kept talking about the Jewish bankers and talking about the Rothschilds and how they, man, please. That shit is facts. That's why when you look up the Rothschilds, it's some fictitious number that you never heard of. 500 trillion type shit. They print the money. How much money do the people that work at the Federal Reserve make? I'm talking about the people that's actually printing the money. How much money do they make? We never talk about that. And now they keep changing the bills and all this other shit. Man, get the fuck out of here. If the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was not speaking facts, then why would they ban him? No, they banned Alex Jones and all the other motherfuckers to have an excuse to go after the big fish. And the big fish was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You know why? Because a lot of young people are starting to listen to him. A lot of young people are starting to gravitate towards their roots. And let me go listen to him. It's not by coincidence that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has more power and more influence over the black community than your local pastor does. That's because he speaks the truth and he's bold enough to do it. And he has testicular fortitude, which other people do not. And that's why they love the docile black preacher, Margaret Sanger. That's why she would go and get the docile black preacher that would preach, you know, abstinence and this and that and all this other stuff, which that you're supposed to preach that, but they're not going to preach racism, white supremacy. You're not going to learn that at your local church. You're just not. So you're going to have to go get it somewhere else. You know why? You're going to grow up. You're going to be just like Meek Mill and all of us and thinking that we're going to be accepted everywhere. You're not going to be accepted everywhere. You're not, because you're not going to be liked everywhere. I don't give a fuck how many white fans you got. Those are just fans. Those are not people that control major resources. The people that control major resources are a part of the dominant society, and they are classified as Caucasian, and that's a fact. So y'all kiss my ass for Memorial Day and all these other clown ass holidays that the dominant society done made up to make money off of. So motherfuckers get barbecue ribs and beef ribs and pork ribs. Shit, go buy the stock on beef. I bet you that's through the roof. And gas and oil is probably through the roof because you got a lot of motherfuckers traveling. I'm not saying you're not supposed to celebrate the holiday. Celebrate the holiday. But just remember what the fuck it is and keep it in context. And know that it's about making money. And it ain't about these fucking veterans because they can give a flying fuck about the veterans. Period. If that's the case, they care so much about the veterans and people that are in the army and the military, then they should never have to work again. And they should all have $100,000 a year salary where they never have to work a job again. Period. And I'm not talking about if they didn't work in the service for 40 years. I'm talking about if you went to Iraq and you was over in Iraq for 5 years, guaranteed $100,000 salary. Especially if you lost an arm or a leg or something. No, they just rehabilitate you, send you on your way, and then you get hooked on drugs and oxycodone and all this other shit, and then you a bum on the street begging. And that's the majority of the motherfuckers I see that's on Las Vegas Boulevard and Owens is veterans. Caucasian veterans who got a Make America Great hat on and not knowing, nigga, they don't give a fuck about your ass either. But I digress. Hey, man, this is the No I Don't Know podcast. I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. You're going to have to come find me on this podcast side of the game type shit because they not going to promote this shit. It's all good. Hey, man, enjoy your little holiday. You know what I'm saying? And eat your little clown ass barbecue and your meat glue, ribs and shit like that. Make sure you take an acidophilus vitamins and some shit, because you definitely gonna be on that toilet. But anyway, man, get together with your people, enjoy the time. Hey, have real conversations when you're around your people. Have real ones. This holiday, have a real conversation about the veterans and how the United States of America has jacked different countries for their shit, and how they act like they're restoring order and liberating people in other countries when really they're just controlling the resources of those other countries to benefit the United States of America. Talk about those conversations. Talk about racism, white supremacy. Talk about things that are uncomfortable. How the LGBTQ, LMNOP, XYZ is the mob, and they're a gang, and they're bullies. And if you don't go along with their New World Order agenda, then they bully you. And they try to connect gay rights to civil rights. There could never be a comparison because they didn't build this country. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody listening. I appreciate everybody subscribing. Hey, man, it's been fun. It's been real. Hey, you know what I'm going to say? Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.